let's look at another example of inheritance. And I know you've seen a couple of them already, but I hope you stick with me because there's always a little something new. So here I have an inheritance hierarchy here. This is male, which is my superclass. And then I have a subclass of letter. And, oftentimes this is described as an is-a relationship. A letter is a male, or a letter is a piece of mail, I guess. And here I have a package, which is also a subclass of male. So package is male also, or is sometimes they use that. And a priority package is a package. It wouldn't make sense to go the other way. Like I couldn't necessarily say that a package is a priority package. It may or may not be. But the is a relationship is going up the chain like that. So a priority package is a package, and a package is male. I know they usually say is which doesn't quite make sense in this case. But let's go through these and see what we have. So here I have male, which is pretty simple. A piece of mail just has an ID, and that's it. So this is my constructor, and I'm setting this instance variable, and then I have my toString, of course. And then underneath it, I showed you what letter looks like, which extends male. That's a subclass of male. And here I put in a constant. Now the word final means that this variable, this double called cost, cannot be changed. It's a final. It's final. It's a constant. Like you might have a constant called pi or something like that. So here I have the cost of a letter is 46 cents. Probably costs like more than that now, 55 cents or something like that. And then here's my letter constructor. As you know, constructors are not inherited from the superclass, so I have to rewrite this constructor, and I'm calling the superclass and I'm passing it I. And one other thing, I couldn't do, just to be clear about that, I'm not allowed to do this. I'm not allowed to directly access this instance variable. I've inherited ID, I just can't access directly. And actually, if I hit compile here, it's going to complain and say it's private and I cannot access it in mail. So I'm sorry, in letter, which extends mail. It's private mail. So I'm going to put in super here. So I'm passing that. And then I decided to write a method called getCost, which returns the cost. No big deal. And then here's my tester. So I've created a letter called M1, presumably for male. And this is the ID. And then I'm running the getCost method, and I can compile that and run it, and you'll see it'll work. Let me just move this. It'll work splendidly. And that's it. I guess mail costs 46 cents. Let's look at package and priority package. I know I have a lot open here, but it shouldn't be too bad. So here I have a package which extends mail, and I've added this instance variable weight. Packages have some weight in ounces. So this is my constructor, of course, and my constructor takes I, which is, we call the ID of my mail, and the weight of my mail. And you know how to call the superclass constructor, and then I'm setting the instance variable. No big deal there. Here I have a getCost method, which is just 50 cents times the weight. And then I have a getWeight method and my toString method. No big deal. So here's my priority package, which extends package. So here I've extended something which extended something, right? I mean, mail is the double superclass, I guess. I don't know if there's a word for that, of priority package. So my priority package also takes an ID and a weight. And notice I'm just calling the superclass and passing both of these variables up to the superclass, which then calls the superclass of that constructor. And here is a getCost method. I guess a priority package costs what a package costs times 2. That's why I'm calling the superclass getCost, which is this guy, and I'm multiplying it by 2. And just so you know, again, if I did this, that would be a problem because it would run itself repeatedly. It would run its own getCost. Yeah, so that would not work. And the other thing, and I probably haven't mentioned this vocabulary before, when you write a method in the subclass that's the same name as a method in the superclass, that's called method overriding. I've overridden the superclass method by rewriting it in the subclass. Method overriding. It's an overridden method. I guess I've said that a bunch of times. All right, so let's compile this and actually, let's look at the tester. Here is my tester. So you can see I've created a new package, P1, and I'm running the toString method, and then I'm running the getWeight method. Shouldn't be a big deal. Even though you know that there is no toString method here, you know what happens. It looks, if there's no toString method here, it looks up the chain and it's like, oh yeah, here's the toString method. So it'll run that and I'll run it real quick. And then let's compile everything. Oh, I got to compile and we'll run it again. And it works just fine. All right, now let's make a priority package and talk about a few things which you haven't seen yet. So you got to hang in there till the end. So now let's look at the tester. And this is going to be some new stuff here. I want to talk about what's allowed and what's not allowed in terms of declaring a new priority package in this case. This first one is okay, and you've seen this many times. So here I have a priority package P1, new priority package, compiles just fine. This you have not seen before, but it's also okay. Mail P2 equals new priority package. You can declare things like this, and sometimes you'll see them, and I'm not going to get into why sometimes it happens, but we'll get to that eventually. This is allowed as long as the thing on the right is a thing on the left. So a priority package is a mail, or priority package is a subclass of mail, or priority package is mail. So that's okay. And if I hit compile, yeah, likes that just fine. So let's check out the next one. Is this going to be okay? What do you think? Is this thing this thing? Is a priority package a package? It is. That's also okay. Let's look at the next one. Is a priority package a letter? Well, not necessarily. Actually, never is. Not necessarily. A priority package is not a letter. That's not a compatible type. And I could actually, let's do another one because it's so much fun. Let's say I switched this. Let's say I made this a priority package and not a package. Is that going to work? Well, you can tell it's not going to work already. It doesn't work because a package is not a priority package necessarily. Yeah. All right, so that doesn't work. So you can declare things funny like this. These are not the same object here. You can do it as long as the thing on the right is a thing on the left. And one other thing that you might want to have to think about is when you hit the compile button, Java thinks that the thing you've declared is the thing on the left. So in other words, when I hit compile, it thinks P2 is mail. When I hit compile, it thinks, well, let's not do the ones. Yeah, let's just talk about the ones that work. When you hit compile, it thinks whatever you're declaring is one of the things on the left. But when you go to run it, it actually looks at the right and it runs it as if it's the thing on the right. And you're thinking, what the heck does that mean? Well, let me show you an example in just a minute. Last thing, so hang in there. So here I've declared a package, P1, which is a new priority package. You know that's fine because a priority package is a package. And my second declaration here, also fine. Mail P2 equals new priority package because priority package is mail. It's a subclass of mail. Also fine. And just to show you, as I said before, when you hit compile, it thinks package or thinks P1 is a package. It thinks P2 is mail. But when you run it, it knows that the thing that you've declared here is the thing on the right. So when I actually run this, when I run p1.getCost, it knows at runtime that P1 is a priority package. And actually, I already compiled and ran it. And my priority package, P1 there, I guess it weighs 10 ounces. And you'll see that it's running if I show you the output there, it ran the getCost method on priority package, which is the superclass 50 cents times weight. Remember, the weight was 10 ounces. So 50 cents times 10 ounces is $5 times 2 is $10. That's why it said $10. So let me just say this one more time. When you hit compile, it thinks package is P1. But when you actually run it, it thinks P1 is package. When you actually run it, though, it knows that P1 is a priority package, and it runs the method in the priority package class. Now I have one more example underneath. This one is going to give me an error. Yeah, so I hit compile. Well, why did it give me an error? Well, it gave me an error because at compile time, when you hit compile, it thinks that P2 is mail. And as you recall, mail, I hope you recall, mail does not have a get cost method. Doesn't have a get cost method. So this didn't work because at the time it said, well, I'm going to look for get cost in mail. It doesn't exist. Now I can fix this, and this is the very last thing that I'm going to do, and you will see this sometimes, and I know this is going to weird you out a little bit, but I can fix this by saying, wait a minute, and I know you're thinking, why the heck would you ever want to do this? Well, it does come up sometimes, believe it or not. You can fix this by casting. This is called casting. I'm casting, and we've done this before with ints and doubles, I'm casting P2 to a priority package because I know it is. And now everything will run just fine. It compiles, it runs, and it's all going to be splendid. And that's it. I know this is some heavy duty stuff, but thanks for hanging in there, and thanks so much for watching.